yokai food.
Oh, Kappaman.
Hey, Kanbe. How's it going?
Mochi mochi den no. Anta wa donai ya?
Just keeping it real.
映画は借りたんやけど、あんたのテレビ、使ってええか?
My TV? Sure, no problem. Listen, I just need to film the next episode of Yokai Tales first, then I'll let you use it, okay?
かめへんで。終わったら教えてんか?
Right, you got it. And hey, thanks for holding this place up, man.
どういたしまして。ほな、またな。
Oh boy. Hey everyone, Kappaman here and welcome back to Yokai Tales. It's been so long since we took a request. I would say it's about time. A lovely viewer that goes by the name Seb Van Dijk requested I take a look at the Oni. Well, my pleasure, Seb, as the Oni have a pretty rich history in the world of yokai. Although they are kind of bullies. So let's get into it, shall we? Possibly one of Japan's most recognizable mythological creatures, next to the Kappa, of course. Oni have worked their way into every corner of the country's culture. Although they weren't originally so well known, namely because they were invisible. You see, back in China, where stories of the Oni originated, they began as invisible spirits bringing with them death, disaster, and disease. They were also known to take on different forms and lure in humans to trick them, or even eat them. Their workplace of choice is hell, doling out punishment to those that were not good enough to avoid its fiery depths. If you look at ancient Chinese and Japanese scrolls, you will often see early depictions of Oni tearing people apart, crushing them in strange contraptions, and any other manner of horrible torture. As for the name Oni, it would seem its origin started with this character, pronounced Onu. This means to hide or conceal, as well as something which people cannot see and cannot exist in the world of man, which matches original descriptions of the Oni. Another pre-Oni title was Mono, which can be interpreted as a spirit with a grudge. This kanji, read as Oni in Japan and Guai in Chinese, means a ghost or a spirit, which once again matches the original versions of the Oni. There are various theories that say around the 6th century, the Chinese Guai came to Japan and mixed with the Japanese Onu, thus giving us the more modern title of Oni. So, how did these invisible shape-shifting demons become the red and blue ogres they're so well known as today? One theory has it that this visual flair has its origins in the practice of onmyodo, which is a type of Japanese cosmology that blends science and the occult. As Chinese philosophies made their way from China to Japan in the 6th century, they would often evolve and change, mixing with religions and beliefs practiced in Japan at the time. Onmyoto was one of these, and one of its teachings involved both the Chinese zodiac and the cardinal directions. In Onmyoto, north was considered to be unlucky, as it was the direction that demons would enter our realm through. The north was once referred to as Kimon, or Demon Gate. As the Chinese zodiac has different animals associated with it, these were also applied to each direction. With this in mind, the north has both the ox and the tiger, which is why it was alternatively named the ox-tiger direction. Because of all this, it's believed that this explains the Oni's strange but unmistakable mix of both tiger and oxen features. The horns on its head, sometimes a single one but often two, the tiger-like claws and fangs, as well as the tiger skin sash around its waist. The Oni itself could very well be a physical representation of the Demon Gate. Other physical features include predominantly red or blue skin, although this can vary depending on the story. A giant club, usually made of metal or wood, often covered in spikes, wild black hair, a beard, and dark, piercing eyes. Because of their long history, Oni have been heavily intertwined into regular Japanese traditions. For instance, there is the annual Setsubun event to mark the beginning of spring, where a parent will dress up like an Oni, wearing a mask much like this one, and pretend to sneak into their house while the children that live there yell at him to go away while throwing beans. This is meant to scare off the Oni and keep the house safe. In addition, people will tie a small branch with a fish head near the front door to also ward off evil during this event. I eat a lot of fish around that time, after sundown. Much like other popular yokai and demons, the Oni have become less of a frightening monster and more of a mascot in Japan. This is why you can see them on a myriad of cartoons, packaging, leading parades, and protecting roofs. But don't be fooled. They are still as dangerous as ever, and us yokai know enough to be weary of them. I did manage to find one yokai willing to talk about some of its experiences with the Oni, but because of their power, he wished to remain anonymous, so we've altered his voice for his own protection. So let me just start off by saying thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm a big fan of the show. It's just wonderful.
Well, I truly do appreciate that. And although the audience cannot see, let me just tell you, for their sake, how handsome you are.
You're so kind and talented.
Now, on to my first question. Being that you're a fellow yokai, have you had much interaction with the Oni?
Yes, I have. When I was younger, in school, older Oni would pick on me.
I see. How so?
Well, they would try to take my things. They'd push me around, lock me in the fridge.
In the fridge?
My school had a very large fridge.
That's terrible. And these days, do you ever meet any now?
Sometimes, yes, at social events I see them, but usually I just try to avoid them. It's funny how things from your childhood can stay with you like that. Yes, I understand what you're saying. These traumatic events never really go away. Why does my voice sound like this?
Why is that on you? Who's editing this? Is my voice still scrambled?
Uh-oh. Thanks so much, Fellow yokai. I appreciate your insight.
Yeah, you're welcome. This better not air like this. Can you change my voice again? Now let's take a mini road trip and look at a rather popular rock formation called Onigaijo, or Demon Castle. This is in Kumano, in Mie Prefecture, and has become a popular roadside attraction. The rock's striking profile is hard to miss, as it has a very similar shape to that of a single-horned Oni. Shallow caves and a sharp stone surface pockmark the area, with waves continuously crashing along its shore. It's said that it was originally known as Oni no Iwaya, Iwaya meaning something along the lines of a natural or dug cave in a rockside where people might reside, but was changed to Onigaijo in the Muromachi period. When the then ruler of Kumano, Arima Tarachika, built a castle at the top of the hill and changed the name accordingly. So there you have it, just a brief introduction into the world of the Oni. If you ever venture into Japan, they're hard to miss. But just be careful if you happen to come across a real one. They're not the friendliest bunch. Join me next time when we'll take a look at the Tomokazuki, a doppelganger of sorts dwelling just below the surface of the ocean, and they're usually naked. Right. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have a yokai you'd like to see me cover on the show, please let me know in a comment below or any of the various places around the web linked in the description. See you next time.